Qatar has ordered the closure of the embassy of Chad and also given the Chadian diplomat 72 hours to leave. The Qatari Foreign Ministry on Thursday accused the African country of joining a campaign of blackmail with its decision to shutter the Qatari embassy. Chad had earlier ordered the Qatari embassy in N'Djamena to close, accusing Qatar of trying to destabilize the country via Libya. It gave Qatari diplomats 10 days to leave. Chad's action follows an attack over the weekend on its army patrol on the Libyan border by a heavily armed militia that is believed to have been operating on the Libya side of the frontier, and which also led to the death of several soldiers.
According to several sources in N'Djamena, Chadian services have been monitoring the situation in Libya and Darfur for several years now, two regions in which Chadian rebels have been reimagined and were defeated in 2009. Several weeks ago, Chad requested Qatar to expel the rebel leader Timon Erdimi, based in Doha, since the end of 2009, a request that did not have a follow-up. Hissène Brahim Taha, the Chadian Minister of Foreign Affairs, confirmed in an interview with RFI that the case of the leader of the Union of the Resistance Forces is at the center of this diplomatic fraud.
And now joining us over the phone to speak with us on the issue from N'Djamena, we have Idris Zakaria. Many thanks for being with us this morning, Idris. The Chadian government claims Qatar has been using Libya to interfere in its internal affairs. Could you explain to us how exactly this has been?
Well, let me tell you that Chad cited national and regional security concerns as reasons behind the move. According to the Chadian government, Chad calls on Qatar to stop all activities aimed at destabilizing Chad and its surrounding countries, I mean the Sahel region or Central African countries. And it urged Qatar to preserve peace and security in the region. And of course, not only Chad, the whole world understands that the nation of Qatar has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level of the world. Not only in Chad, in Libya, in Sudan, and some other countries, for example.
Idris, was Chad's decision in any way influenced by the recent and similar decisions from some Arab countries to cut diplomatic links? Or do they have sufficient proof to their allegations?
Well, I'm very sure that the Chadian authority have enough evidence to prove how Qatar is destabilizing peace and security in the region. You know that we have Chadian rebels just in the Libyan-Chadian border. Who is funding and supporting these rebels? Of course, Qatar. And that's why, according to the Chadian government, the authority is trying to safeguard peace and security in the region. And that's why Chad calls on Qatar to seize all actions that could undermine its security as well as those in the regions like the Sahel region or the Lecture or the Central African region. And let me tell you that if the security in Chad falls down, I'm pretty sure that it's not just going to stop in Chad. Chad is a security belt for the region now. It's a bulwark for the region. If Chad falls, I'm pretty sure all the countries in the region of Sahel and Central African Republic, like Central African Republic, Cameroon, and maybe Nigeria is going to fall. And this is going to cost Africa too much, by the way. So I simply think that the decision is quite right, and it came at the right moment for the region.
Qatar has been refuting the allegations of sponsoring terrorism and now has also responded tit-for-tat. What could you foresee as the future of relations between these countries, both countries?
The future of diplomatic relations between Chad and Qatar is very simple. Qatar and Turkey has supported rival Islamic-leaning factors in Western Libya. Okay, you know that. And the vacuum created by Gaddafi's downfall led to a flood of weapons from state arsenals into the hands of Islamist groups, who then pushed south into Africa's Sahel nations, where they launched attacks on military and civilian targets around the region, the Sahel region. So if Qatar wants a normal relation, a win-win relation, diplomatic relations with Chad and some other countries around the region, then they have to stop supporting those Islamic groups in the region, because those Islamic groups is going to target the authorities in these regions. So the question is very clear, and the answer is on the Qatar side.
Interestingly, Senegal, a day just before Chad's decision to expel Qatari officials, just restored relations with Qatar after suspending its own ambassador during the Gulf crisis. Do you think Chad's action could trigger a similar action by some African countries?
Well, I think the diplomatic way comes of your responsibility and your commitment in the region or in the continent. You know that Chad has been, fighting for many African states, not only Nigeria or Mali and Central African Republic. And I think you also know this. So from this commitment and responsibility, you can understand who has the diplomatic weight in the African continent.